This is a show about the American entrepreneur, the dreamers, the believers, the achievers. We discover those making a better life for others through a better business. That's what it means to be in Multiview's good company. With today's technological distractions, traditional playgrounds have become dull and boring. Now, it takes a lot more than just a swing and a slide to captivate the imaginations of our youth. Enter Cre8Play, a good company that's bringing the enthusiasm back into our city parks.
I'm Todd Lehman. I'm the founder and owner at Cre8Play. At Cre8Play, we design and build custom play environments.
The traditional play environments are just very plain Jane type of environments. What we see now is children using equipment like it wasn't kind of intended to use because they're kind of boring.
We don't build snap together, post and clamp playgrounds. We do whole environments.
We go beyond the traditional playground. We're not just building a structure kids can play on, but we're really immersing them within the play environment and allowing their imaginations to run wild.
So how do you bring out the imagination of both children and adults? Todd's been tackling that challenge his entire life.
I'm a second-generation playground guy. My father actually started in the playground industry back in the early 70s, and I've literally grown up within the playground industry. I started off working for him, stuffing catalogs, doing all the mailings, licking all the envelopes, and also he actually started designing playgrounds as a little kid. Back in '05, I thought I'm young enough to fall flat on my face, and I think that the world really is striving for the same thing I am, and that's for a more creative approach to play environments. With my laptop and cell phone, I started Cre8Play from really nothing.
He called me up one day and he said, I could really use some help. We're, starting to grow. So I came on board about a year or two after he started the company.
We've been friends for well over 20 years, and we're really a great team. The things that I love to do and I'm good at, he allows me to do, and vice versa.
I don't pick colors, and he doesn't tell me how to order material. And so it works really well like that.
Cre8Play has really, I think, broken the mold and brought play to a whole new level. We're not limited to what we can put into a plastic mold. We're not limited to what can a pipe bender bend. We're limited to what can our imaginations create.
Todd is the Willy Wonka of playgrounds and play environments. Everything that he does is amazing and cool.
I think the uniqueness, starts, of course, with Todd and his art vision, which is just absolutely amazing. It's kind of like driving by a Frank Lloyd Wright house. It's a house, yeah, but you can tell there's a signature. You can tell there's actually a vision that you're looking at. When clients approach us, they're looking for something that's non-traditional. They're looking for something out of the box.
Cre8Play never stops innovating new and exciting ways to play. But always thinking outside the box doesn't mean you can't play inside the box.
Shipping containers are a huge issue in America because it's actually cheaper to build a shipping container, ship it, and abandon it than it is to actually try to get that shipping container back. So in an effort to try to reduce and recycle, we're incorporating shipping containers, and we're going to build play inside of it. You'll be able to climb inside of this on the outside, go vertical in it, and we're able to get some pretty cool height. And again, utilizing an existing structure that was at one point really almost an abandoned product.
Depending on the size and scope of each production, they can last months or even years. But every one starts in the same place, Todd's mind.
One of my favorite things to do here at work is to come in here and just design. Close the door, turn on some tunes, and just think what would be cool for a kid to play on, what interactive elements could a kid do for that.
Once the design details are complete, the process moves from the computer to the craftsman.
This is our production studio out here, and here's where the back half of the magic happens. This is where we put together the bones of the structure itself. From there, we start moving to our secondary steel. That's where you really start seeing the components take shape.
After the skeleton of the piece is constructed, it's on to the next stage.
This is our base coat of concrete. Notice the color of it is actually white, so it's a very pure concrete material.
You can sculpt it, you can mold it, you can manipulate it, you can really create virtually anything with it. And once it's hard, it's concrete.
3/4 of an inch of our mixture is equal to the same strength as a standard 4-inch thick slab of concrete. So that's the base coat of concrete. When it comes to the top coat of concrete, we actually use an integral color, and that's part of the recipe as well. And this log crawl here has not been painted. This is actually the color of the concrete that we add onto it. All of this is carved by hand or embossed with stamps so that we get this final texture to it. At this point, this is our final step in the process, which no machine can do this, is you take artists like David here that will go ahead and put the final touches on the tree bark, which gives it that natural look.
All the projects that we do are really fun because we never do the same thing twice. So every one that we do is truly an original work of art.
Everything's one of a kind, and with so many guys back there being good at basically every facet of the manufacturing process, you get a small team that kicks butt.
The attention to detail and the delivery schedules are often at odds with each other.
A lot of the challenge for me as a manager is finding a fluid balance between deadline and being creative with it. I've started painting projects the size of the tree that's behind me at 11:30 at night, and it's been on a truck by 9:30 in the morning. As an artist, I really enjoy the end product, but as the manager, I'm just glad to have it done and, meet the deadline.
As artists, everybody seems to have a little bit of an ego, but here we really say, check the ego at the door. If you have a better idea that can create a better finished product, we kind of roll with it. So the link between here and here, we need to do something. I'm wide open to suggestions. Somebody's got something, come at me with it. I'd love to see it.
One of the reasons that Cre8Play began manufacturing was to control that quality and control that craftsmanship. Todd going out there with the craftsmen, working with them, and that constant back and forth flow of information, that's part of that. You couldn't do that remotely and produce the products that we're producing.
I always say my favorite project is really the project I'm working on. That has always been true up until the Casey's Clubhouse project that we recently completed in Grapevine, Texas. And that one there was really pretty special.
Casey's Clubhouse is a specially designed play environment dedicated to the memory of Casey Tritico, a disabled young girl who always dreamed of playing with her able-bodied friends.
It's a universally accessible play environment, so children and adults of all ages, all abilities, doesn't matter if they're wheelchair bound, if they're able-bodied, because there's stimulation for all of the senses except for taste. We're still working on that one. But it's just such a neat environment because it allows kids of all abilities to be able to play along side by side with each other. Play is so important, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, and that we have that opportunity to help children live a better life. It's pretty awesome.